So hi guys, it's Gemini Jim back again like I never left with a public sneak peek of the BOGO deals from February 18th through February 24th. So let's go ahead and jump into the deals. I think I'm kind of excited about this week, guys. So the yellow dragon fruit in my store is $5.99. The red dragon fruit is $4.99. So since I'm in half BOGO, I can grab one for $2.49. The Fresh Express salad kits at my store are $4.99, so grabbing one would be $2.49. We also have the Greenwise wellness shots. They are $2.99, so grabbing one would be $1.49. We have the jelly berries grapes back again. They are $4.99, so grabbing one would be $2.49. We also have the Key West Sunset Bouquet at $16.99, so you can grab one at $8.49. If y'all not rosed out from Valentine's Day. Then our vitamins of choice are going to be the Nature Made, the 30 to 300 counts, like the cheapest I saw, or I think the potassium and the zinc, which are $5.29. So grabbing one would be $2.64. We have the Publix cough drops, the 30 count bag at $1.59. So grabbing one would be 79 cents. We have Pure Zero shampoo and conditioners at 12 ounce. They are $5.99, so grabbing one would be $2.99. We also have the Pure Zero body wash, which is $8.99, so grabbing one would be $4.49. Then the Pure Zero deodorant, they're $9.99, but I did see one for $8.99, so grabbing that one would be $4.49 if you grab one. For those, we also have the St. Ives body wash, which at my store are $5.49, so grabbing one would be $2.74. Next, the Califia Farms are back. So the almond milk and the oat milk are $4.89, so grabbing one would be $2.44. Now, I never did have that one-off one, but I did have a one-off two digital. But also the creamers are included, so they're $6.59, so grabbing one would be $3.29. So if you have that one off two digital, the milk would be $3.89 and the creamer would be $2.29. Then the I Can't Believe It's Not Butter, the 45 ounce tub is $10.99, so one would be $5.49, the 45 ounce. There should be a internet printable, but I don't know how much it is. Then the Country Crock, the 45 ounce is $7.99, so grabbing one would be $3.99. And I do have a dollar digital, so if I use that digital, it would be $2.99 for the Country Crock 45 ounce one. Next, we have the Pillsbury, the Crescent, the Dough, the rolls, which are the cheapest at my store, is $3.29, so one would be $1.64 for those. Then we have the Sweet Loren's cookie dough, which is $6.99, so grabbing one would be $3.49. We also have the Sweet Loren's puff pastries. They are $8.99, so grabbing one would be $4.99. Yeah, also we do have the Pillsbury ready to bake cookies. They are $5.49, so grabbing one would be $2.74. We have the Go-Gurts again, guys. They are $3.49, so grabbing one would be $1.74. The mini Baby Bell cheese snacks, the 6 count, are $4.99, so grabbing one would be $2.49. Then we have the Rana, the tortellini, the ravioli, the Alfredo pastas. They're $5.69, so grabbing one would be $2.84. Also, the pesto sauces are $5.69. Also, so grabbing one of those would also be $2.84. We did have coupons, but those are for the larger packs. Then the Sargento chunk cheese are $4.99, so grabbing one would be $2.49. Also, the Sargento shredded cheese are $4.16, so grabbing one would be $2.08. Next, all of the Impossible products, I guess these are plant based. Y'all, like, everything should be included it had like everything under there. But the cheapest I saw were the $6.99 Impossible patties. So if you grab those, it would be $3.49 for those. And also on my account, I do have a dollar digital for those. So if you grab the patties, no, I have a $2 digitals. So it'll be $3.49 minus 2, which would be $1.49 for those. So maybe give it a try. We do have the Purdue Simply Smart Breaded. They're gonna be buy one get one next week. For the cheapest I saw was $11.99. So grabbing one would be $5.99. We do have the Purdue just regular breaded, which were on sale this week. They're back again. Cheapest $8.99. So grabbing one would be $4.49. We have the Welch's Juices, the 64 ounce at $3.69. So grabbing one would be $1.84. Y'all can hear that I'm doing this in the car. It's raining very hard. But the Hatfield pork tenderloins are going to be $9.49. So grabbing one would be $4.74. Then we have the Jenny O turkey sausage, the sweet Italian. They are $8.99. So grabbing one would be $4.49. We got the Publix chicken drumsticks. They're going to be buy one get one. So y'all know the prices vary, but it just says the drumstick so far. Then we have the Anna C, the ahi tuna poke, and the shoyu ahi kits. They are $10.99. So grabbing one will be $5.49. Next, we have the Baskin Robbins ice cream, the 14 ounce at $5.59. So grabbing one would be $2.79. We have the Edwards pie slices at $3.99. So grabbing one would be $1.99. Then the whole fruit bars are $5.29. So grabbing one would be $2.64. We have the Fat Boy ice cream sandwiches at $6.49. So grabbing one would be $3.24. The Magnum ice cream bars, the 3 count, are $5.99. So grabbing one would be $2.99. We have the Talente, the sorbetto. They are $6.49. So grabbing one would be $3.24. Then we have the Tillamook ice cream at $7.99. So grabbing one would be $3.99. All different flavors of ice cream. Then we have, y'all, we're gonna have such a good time with these deals. But the Marie calendars, the pies are $3.09. So grabbing one would be $1.54. We also have the Marie calendars pot pies. The cheapest at my store are $2.99. So grabbing one would be $1.49. The Marie calendar bowls, I believe everything is included, but they're $4.39. Getting one would be $2.19. So I was looking for the share sizes. I found them later, but y'all, we're gonna have such good deals with this because we have a 5 off 20. It expires on the 20th. So let's get our deals together and see what everybody get, as well as the bird's eye vegetables, y'all. The cheapest is $1.89. So grabbing one would be 94 cents. It's the 8 to 32 ounces. On those, y'all know it goes up to the $6.99. But we also have a 3 off 10 for the bird's eye frozen vegetables. So we're stocking up on vegetables and Marie calendars, all that good stuff, guys. Then we have the bird's eye voila skillet meals. This is not included in that coupon, but they are $4.99. So grabbing one would be $2.49. Then we have the Celentano pastas at $6.29. Grabbing one would be $3.14. We have the Manini's gluten-free pastas at $5.99. So grabbing one would be $2.99. And the Innovations, I think everything is on promotion, but the entrees are $6.99. So grabbing one would be $3.49. We also have the side dishes at $5.29. So grabbing one would be $2.64. And then the Innovation appetizers are $4.99. So grabbing one would be $2.49. So yeah, maybe I'll try those. I've never tried those. Then the kids fresh entrees are $5.49. So grabbing one would be $2.74. And the Suki's entrees, this is Indian cuisine. The cheapest at my store is $7.09. So grabbing one would be $3.54 for those. Then we have Mrs. T's pierogies. They are $3.49. So grabbing one would set you back $1.74. We have the Gordon seafood entrees. We got them at $5.99. So grabbing one would be $2.99. Then the Red Lobster's cheddar-based seafood entrees are at my store they're $7.99. So grabbing one would be $3.99. We got the Savannah Classic Hush Puppies at $4.39. So grabbing one would be $2.19. We also have the Sea Pack Maury's fish fillets, the 2 counts. We got salmon, cod, I believe flounder. They are $11.99. So grabbing one would be $5.99. Then the Michelinis, if the cheapest ones are included, the cheapest are $1.69. So grabbing one would be 84¢. We have the Farm Rich appetizers at $4.99. So grabbing one would be $2.49. We got the Smucker's Uncrustables at $4.79 for the 4-pack, which would be $2.39 if you just grab one and half BOGO. The Tasties are back at $6.99. So grabbing one would be $3.49. We have Purple Carrot Bowls. They are plant-based. So these are $4.79. So grabbing one would be $2.39. We have Eggo waffles at $3.19. So grabbing one would be $1.59. And I do believe they're like printable coupons for that. Then we have the Food for Life bread, the 24-ounce. At my store, the cheapest is $6.39. So grabbing one would be $3.19 for those. Next, we have the Ritz toasted chips. They are $4.99. So grabbing one would be $2.49. We have the family size Cheez-Its. At my store, they're $7.99. So grabbing one would be $3.99. So I do have a digital coupon for $1 off one, and it goes up to 21 ounces, and that was a 21 ounce. So if you grab one, use the coupon, it would be $2.99. Also, for the family club and the townhouse crackers, they are $6.29. So grabbing one would be $3.14. I see this store coupon here for $1 off. And we also do have a dollar digital. So if you grab one at $3.14 and take off those $2, it will be $1.14 for those. I can't remember if I scanned this. I did scan it, but I'm not sure the ounces. So just be careful. Then the Emerald Nuts, the 5 to 10 ounce bag, are $5.29. So grabbing one would be $2.64. We have the Fruit Gushers at $3.29, making one $1.64, as well as the Betty Crocker Fruit Snacks at $3.29. So one would be $1.64, and then we have the Annie Bunny Fruit Snacks. So the cheapest I saw are the $6.79. So grabbing one would be $3.39. We're going to head over to the chips, the Lay's potato chips. They're $4.29. So grabbing one would be $2.14. We have the Nabisco Chips Ahoy cookies, $3.78. So grabbing one would be $1.89. Those are the cheapest that I saw. The Noni's Biscotti, they are $4.59. So making one would be $2.29, as well as the thin addictive ones are $4.49. So $2.24 for one. The Nutella, the 13 ounces, they're going to be $5.49. So grabbing one would be $2.74. We also have the premium saltine crackers at my store, $4.29. So grabbing one would be $2.14. Then we have Smucker's, only the sugar-free kind. The cheapest I saw is the grape, which is $4.09. So grabbing one would be $2.04. The 3 count of Pop Secret popcorn is $3.99, so grabbing one would be $1.99. So the Coca-Cola products, the 6 pack little 7.5 ounce cans at my store are $5.99, so grabbing one would be $2.99. They're supposed to have like bottles, I think like 12-ounce bottles, but I did not see them at my store. The Eternal Spring Water, the 2.5 liter, is $3.99. So grabbing one would be $1.99. We also have the Icelandic Glacial Natural Spring Waters. These are the 6 pack, and they are 500 milliliters at $8.99. So grabbing one would be $4.49. We also have the Pure Life purified water, the 24 pack of the little 8-ounce bottles. They are $5.99. So grabbing one would be $2.99. And we also have San Pellegrino Chow sparkling water. They're $6.49. So grabbing one would be $3.24. Then we're gonna head over to like the household products. The fresh dishwasher cleaners are $8.49, so grabbing one would be $4.24. Also, the fresh washing machine cleaners, the 6 count would be $10.99, so grabbing one would be $5.49. We have the all laundry detergent, the 73-ounce liquids, as well as the 39 count packs are $15.99. So grabbing one would be $7.99 if you want to grab all. I do believe there's lots of about a rebates for these. The Brillo, the 3 count sponges are $3.09. So grabbing one would come to $1.54. We have our Easy Fulls back there, 1 to 5 counts. The cheapest at my store is $2.99. So grabbing one would be $1.49 for those. Next, we have the Method all-purpose cleaners, the 28-ounce bottles. They are $5.09. So grabbing one would be $2.54. And we also have the Reynolds wrap, the heavy duty one. They made sure to specify, so I'm thinking it's just this kind. So 75 square feet is $11.29. So if you want to grab those, the Red X septic system treatments are $7.99 for those, and then the Snuggle um, sheets are $4.99. So grabbing one would be $2.49, and the All sheets are $5.19. So grabbing one would be $2.59. Then we have some soft scrubs. The soft scrub cleansers are $5.19. So grabbing one would be $2.59. We also have some for $3.99. Then the soft scrub, like the little balls, they're $3.99. So grabbing one would be $1.99, as well as those duos, same thing, $3.99. So one would be $1.99 for those. Next, we have the Amazing Taste seasonings. They are $5.99. So grabbing one would be $2.99. Now I could hardly find these in the store, but they're over there by like at my store at least, they're by the seafood and everything, and I only see quite of just a little bit of those. Next, the Barilla pastas, the 7 to 16 ounce. The cheapest is $1.89. So grabbing one would be 94 cents. The Bertolli sauces are $3.49, the 15 ounce to 24 ounce jars. So $3.49, one would be $1.74. We have Carpe Diem pasta at $3.99. So grabbing one would be $1.99. We also have the Cheetos mac and cheese, the 4 packs. They are $6.19. So grabbing one would be $3.09. Then we have Lee Kum Key. These are sriracha chili sauces at $4.99, making it $2.49. And then the mayo dressing, the sriracha is $5.99. So grabbing one would be $2.99 for those. Then the gold medal flour, the 3 and 5 ounce are on promotion. The cheapest I saw is $5.59. So grabbing one would be $2.79. We have some green giant vegetables. The 4 packs are going to be $5.99, so grabbing one would be $2.99. We also have LeSueur sweet peas. The 4 packs, they are $7.49, so grabbing one would be $3.74. Then we have the Hunt's tomatoes, which are $1.89, so grabbing one would be 94 cents, as well as the Hunt sauces, which at my store are $1.59, so grabbing one would be 79 cents. We have the Idahoan mashed potatoes, which are two for $3. So if we just grab one, it would be 150. So really just 75 cents for BOGO. Then the canned steaks house dressing are $4.69, so grabbing one would be $2.34. Then we have the, as if we not tired of mayo, but Kraft mayo is $4.69, so grabbing one would be $2.34. Then we also have the Miracle Whip at $5.89, so grabbing one would be $2.94 for those. Next, we have the Krusties pancakes and waffle mix at my store. They are $3.99. So grabbing one would be $1.99. I did have a 75-cent digital coupon, so that would make it $1.24 for one if you have that coupon. The Mrs. Butterworth 24-ounce bottle is $4.49. So grabbing one would be $2.24 for those. We also have the no yolk noodles at $3.09, so grabbing one would be $1.54, as well as the light and fluffy noodles at $2.99, which would be $1.49 for one. The Near East, the couscous, the quinoa, and the rice pilaf are $2.99, so grabbing one would be $1.49 for those. We got Olive Garden croutons. The 5-ounce bottle would be, the bag is $2.19, so grabbing one would be $1.09. The Ploshman mustard is $1.99, so grabbing one would be 99 cents. We also have Progresso breadcrumbs at $2.99, so grabbing one would be $1.49. We also have Progresso soup at $3.39, so grabbing one would be $1.69. For those, of course, we got all different kinds of varieties. We got the Royals homemade pastas. They are $3.29, so grabbing one would be $1.64. Different varieties of those, of course. We also have the Rice-A-Roni at $2.49, so grabbing one would be $1.24, as well as the Pastaronis, which are $1.75. So grabbing one would be 87 cents. And y'all, where are the chicken and broccoli ones? They just gone, huh, I guess. Then the Swanson broth, the 32-ounce, are $2.99. Okay, grab one at $1.49. I see that they have like this new variety is ramen broth, but those are more expensive, so we'll have to wait on that. Then we have the VT rice. They are $2.89, so grabbing one at $1.41. They got sticky rice, the Thai jasmine rice. Yo, packaging is everything. I would fall for that, of course. Then we have the snack packs. We got like the puddings and also like the gelatin kinds. The 6 counts are $4.19. So if you grab one, it'll be $2.09. And as well as those, if you grab one at $2.09, I do also have a 75-cent digital coupon, which would make it $1.39 if you can grab one and have BOGO. Also, the ice breakers, the ice cubes, they are $4.99, so grabbing one would be $2.49. And also the Hershey's giant bars, the milk chocolate, the almond, the special dark, including the symphony, they are 2 for $10. So one would be $5, but if you get it half BOGO, it would be $2.50 for those. So yeah. So I did find a Marie Callender's meal to share. They're actually $7.39 in my store. So grabbing one would be $3.69. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that Marie Callender's coupon. So one way you can do it, just make sure you get to $20. But one way you can do it is Marie Callender entrees. You can grab 4 of those at $3.99. One Marie Callender's bowl at $4.39. The total would be $20.35. However, the system would ring it up for $10.17. Then that 5 off 20 coupon will still come off, and that'll be $5.17. And this is if your store is still on the old system. And in Florida, you have to buy even numbers. Then, like at Half BOGO, we can grab 7 of the $2.99 pot pies. The total will be $20.93, but it'll ring up for half price at $10.46. That $5 digital will come off, making it $5.46. Or if you want to just mix and match everything, you can grab one meal to share at $7.39, a bowl at $4.39, an entree at $3.99, get one of the desserts at $3.09, and a pot pie at $2.99. The total will be $21.85. The half price is gonna be $10.92. That 5 off 20 will come off, and that will be $5.92. It's just a plethora of different things we can get. Mix and match, y'all. So guys, that is what I have for the BOGO deals. If you like the video, please go ahead and like the video. Tell me what your favorite deal is going to be. I believe mine is going to be Marie Callender's. And if you haven't subscribed, you must not be trying to save. But I will be sure to see you guys in the next video. Bye.